Hey y'all, hey. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Going ahead and come into the room. As you know, we don't get started until like 15 minutes just to give everybody who didn't get the notice or got the notice a little late or don't remember to be able to get the notice and then comment. I am going to be prepping my dinner. So I'm going to do a little pita pocket. I got these really cool individual like chicken already cooked chicken pieces from Costco that I find to be yeah, they really do. They really do it for me. I'll show them to you. So, they're chicken breast bites. And I can't remember how many came in this, but it was like I would say at least 12. And you can freeze them. But I was yeah, still good. You can freeze them, so I froze half of them. But anyways, then I got myself some pita pockets from Trader Joe's. I like switch off between getting things from Costco and then getting things from Trader Joe's because Costco you get more bang for your buck, even though you just have to find some place to save it, right? Like I buy my ground beef and I get my chicken and I get my meats from Costco and then I freeze them. And then the more perishable items I get from Trader Joe's. Now, if you have a family, maybe Trader Joe's isn't for you because I feel like Trader Joe's is really meant for the single ready to mingle for the, family of 2 or 3 is what Trader Joe's is really made for. But yeah, I find that for a while there, I was trying to be a Whole Foods girly because I thought I had money, but no. I find Trader Joe's to be better buck, whatever. And I find Costco because I go to Costco once a month, but for the big things, like I'll spend $300 every 6 months for the paper towels, toilet paper, trash bags, detergent. And again, it's because it's just me. So my detergent lasts at least 3 months. Yeah. So my detergent, my cleaning supplies, like I will buy a 5-pack or a 3-pack of toilet bowl cleaner, and it'll last me the year. I'll do wipies for for the butt wipes, adult butt wipes. I have done oil. I do my oils. Anything that can last that isn't perishable, I will just go on ahead and buy at Costco, and I will have it for at least 6 months or 3 months, depending on what it is. Like I'll get oil, my olive oil. I've gotten granola from them before. I don't get fruits and vegetables from them because that I had to learn the hard way is not for a single person. That will mess up on you quick. Even though like the potatoes, I really will hold on to the potatoes end up being worth it for me. Some of them do go bad, for sure. The lemons and the potatoes, some of them do go bad, but it does end up being cheaper in the long run. Or does it? Girl, I don't know. I think it ends up being cheaper. So right now what I'm doing is I'm prepping my onions in a little bit of vinegar. And I'm also gonna do some tomatoes, a little bit of olive oil, just so that it takes some of the it takes something off of it. It makes it so that I'm able to eat it and not be burping onion for the rest of my life. So I was gonna cut up this and throw it in there, but I don't I like my tomatoes and my cucumbers to be a little crunchy. Not crunchy, but not freaking soft. And I'm just gonna add a little honey. I'm gonna see how this tastes like. This might not taste good. I don't have any Greek yogurt, and I don't have some other items that could really make it a Greek Mediterranean situation. So we're just gonna see what this ends up tasting like. What it's gonna taste like is a dinner. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm trying to be frugal. I'm trying to really budget myself. I'm I got some work to do financially. As you guys know, I've been communicative about that. And so part of that is making sure that I'm not just wasting money the way I was, because I went through my August. Girl, I went through my August transactions, and you would think I had a job. You would think that I was actually you would think I had an active job the way I was spending money on nonsense. On nonsense. Because you know, you get to a certain age and sometimes the food has to hit. That's what I feel. Sometimes the food has to hit. And when it doesn't hit, that's when I make poor choices. It's like when I'm not feeling like it's what I want, or when I'm like, I just need ramen. Girl, you don't just need ramen. You don't just need it. And also you have ramen. I have ramen in here, like good ramen that I got from like a good store, not just like Top Ramen, not Maruchan. I got like whatever that good ramen is. I could mix that up. If I bought me some frozen vegetables, if I got me some mushrooms, or like, what else does ramen have in it that I really enjoy? I got chili oil. I have most of the ingredients to do a lot of things, but sometimes I'm just like, and that's what I got to stop doing. That is what I got to stop doing. I got to remember what it is to be broke. I got to remember what that is. You know, it's childhood trauma, you know, got to remember how to survive on less. And so I've really told myself that this last quarter of the year, I'm going to chart every single dollar I spent, every single piece of money coming in, going out. And then I'm going to look at it and be like, you didn't need to buy that. You didn't need to buy that. You didn't need to do that. And I'll just get better every single month until I'm down to a very strict budget, until I can have some savings in my coffers. Let me put the air conditioning on because it's hot. So until I can do all of that. Anyways, what are you guys saying? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just talking. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Hi, Yuzel, how you doing? Domestic gordita, hi girl, hey. Nakia, how you doing? Amiga, yes, sending love from San Antonio. I accept the love. Thank you so much. And then we've got Kayla. Oh my gosh, yes, Kayla, I am back. Whew, girl, it's not hot here. It's still just not cold. You know what I mean? So it's like one day though, it's gonna just switch over. Today is the first day of fall, and you would think that it would be, I mean, it's cooler, but it's still hot in here. No, take off all your clothes. And so I sleep with the fan on and the window open, and that usually does it for me. Joy, hey girl, hey. Just my 2 cents. Thank you for liking this video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. What's up, Joseph? How you doing? Nicole, how you doing? Mickey, how you doing? Hey, y'all. And Wah. And Wah. Mickey, I love it. You know what is funny? I love that I can hear your sense of humor through the way you type. Great use of punctuations and grammar, girl. Okay, liking Match Me Abroad and 90 Day Fiance UK. I am doing 90 Day Fiance UK. I actually am caught up. I just forgot to upload last week's episode, and then I didn't finish watching the tell-all, but the tell-all, it was good. It's okay. Your like isn't registering. Gato's making noise. So if you hear something, that's what it is. Hey, Jasmine, how you doing? Thank you so much for telling the folks what to do. Where are we at on time? Okay, we've got 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, we got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 6 minutes. Okay. Calandria, hey, girl. How you doing? Gosh, Jasmine, you're popular, girl. They're all like, hey, girl. It's internet friends. Good to be seen. Chris mistakenly blocked me and it couldn't get me in. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to do anything from this. Would I even be able to block anybody? I don't know. What's this do? Delete comment, put user in ban user. Oh no. I want to be able to make someone what does this do? I highlighted that. What does that do? I start it. So what? It just stays up there? I don't know. I can't figure out how to make someone else my moderator from this. I feel like I made you all moderators when I would go in through YouTube, but I don't know how to do it through StreamYard. So I probably would have to go through YouTube to do it, because it's just a right click and you make somebody a moderator. So I don't know. Anyways, where are we at in the comments? LOL, I was there when Chris blocked you. Hilarious. Just saying that I'm matching you around the UK. Okay, great. You were without a job. So I took a personal leave of absence from work because my work is slowly killing and draining me. And good thing, because I'm off all of my medications. Like I was on high blood pressure medication and I was on anxiety medication, and I have not felt anxious except for it's coming. I can feel the anxiety coming back because I can't go to sleep as fast as I want to go to sleep, and I'm really like dragging when I wake up in the morning. I have to like convince myself like why I need to go to work. Like I literally have to be like, you have to go. You have to get up now and you have to go. You have to get up now and then you have to go. Don't worry, you could put a little makeup on. And then I go, oh, I get to play in makeup. And then I get up. That's what happens like every morning. Oh, I get to put makeup on. And then I get like, okay. Oh, and honestly, if I had my Nespresso, if I was stacked up on my Nespresso, that would be another thing too. Sometimes it's just the fact that I have bacon in the refrigerator that gets me up. Like, oh, I get to make bacon? Okay, I'll get up. Like a kid. Like a kid. Okay. So anyways, that's what happened to me, domestic gordita. I have been without a job. So, and the way my job pays me is after, kind of. So I'm not going to get a paycheck for September until the end of September, until September 28th. So spending money in August, like I didn't, I was still doing gig work here and there. Like I was still doing drag. I was still doing other stuff. I was I'm making money here and there, but not enough to be spending the way I spent in August, girl. That's me right now. Why I spend $24 on lunch day? Like I got it. Like, yeah, it's the cravings. I'm like, ooh, I need that. No, you don't. You have food. I have nasty food. Somebody convinced me to buy like pesto, and like while I don't dislike pesto, I don't like it enough to have purchased it. But I bought it at Costco. I also bought some tortellini, and so then I've been eating tortellini and pasta and pesto. It's not hitting. It's not hitting, and I've tried. Except for Parmesan cheese. I haven't put Parmesan cheese on it, but it's expensive. So I did. I put like I put the shaky shake Parmesan cheese. I did not put the grated Parmesan cheese, which is what I want to purchase. But I'm like, no, you do the shaky shake. It's just what it hitting. But the truth is, it doesn't need to hit. It doesn't need to hit. This is for me and you and everybody else out there. It doesn't need to hit. 90 Day Fiance UK is so good with Shay. Yes, thank you. I'm so glad you like it. Becca, how you doing? Yes, no, she's been great as a last minute, like, hey, will you do this whole series with me? Like, I'm so grateful to her because I was like, DocuSweeties can't just do one thing. We've got bills to pay. And so I was like, I have to do 90 Day Fiance UK. And I was like, I don't have anybody to do it with. And so Shay came through in a clutch. A lot of characters and reality things I don't like. Miss Lady, girl, I know. Isn't that rude? it's YouTube's fault and then it's my fault. You know what I mean? It's both of our faults. I'll take dual blame. Tired of Lauren and that whole gang. Tired of Darcy too. I'd rather start with new characters. I get you on HEA. Yeah, that's why you should do Toe. Toe is good. Toe is good. Becca totally preferred that one. Less scripted, and yep, absolutely. Miss Lady, it's your first time, but yeah, girl. People are just slowly coming back. I love that. Ara and Andy, I love them so much. I love them so much. I adore Ara, the most overall characters over the years. She laughs so easily, and yeah. I agree. So if you guys aren't watching UK, it's not long. It's only like 10 episodes, or 13 episodes. You could binge it. I think it's only an hour, so it should be fine. Okay, I gotta prep. All right, let's take this down. Okay, let's get over here because I'm always late. Got my phone. Let's bring up 90 Day Fiance. Boopity boops. Where are my notes? Come on, notes. Come on, notes. Life after lockup. Okay. Whoop. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of Life After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 17. This episode's called Karma's Coming. Maybe. I think that's what it's called. My name is Wah. And I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as Life After Lockup, Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance, Toe, HEA, Regular, Before, After, During. I also do Love is Blind, shows like that. So if you are at all interested in that kind of content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I go live weekly, okay? Mondays is Life After Lockup / Love After Lockup. Tuesdays is whatever comes on Monday on TLC. This season, it's 90 Day Fiance the other way, which has been a great season so far. Only 3 episodes in, so I guess I shouldn't say that much. And then Seeking Sister Wife. So excited. The Davises are coming back. We've got some new people. We've got the Garrett Fields, the Merrifields, the Garretts, the Merrifields, and they've got a new boo. God, the Merrifields are really trying to make it happen. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop making fun of Garrett and Danielle. I won't, but like, you know what I mean? I won't, but I will. So yeah, you join me weekly, twice a week. I'll be doing that. And anything else that kind of strikes my fancy, any documentaries that I see that make me go, I don't want to talk to you guys about, I'll be going live and talking about it. So please join me on Facebook. Please join me on Instagram. Please join me on YouTube. Wherever you like to consume content, you will see me and you will be able to interact with me. Okay. If you at all get the hee ha-has while watching this and you want to give your girl a tip, you can do so with the options down below. Now, YouTube does have a way for you to tip me. It's called thanks, but you got to find it. You got to hit like the 3 little dots on the side or on this side, and then you got to hit that and do thanks. Whatever you got to do, however you want to do it. If you want to give me a tip, here are the options. Those are the options. Thank you so much. Okay, let's start out with Joella, Deodric, and Kiana. So this episode didn't have a lot of Deodric besides him and her trying to paddle boat in a dusty ass little swan thing where they both didn't want their feet to touch the mucky water that's in the basin of those. He got his Jordans on and he's like trying to pedal with not out getting his feet in the basin of those like things because it's wet inside there. You know what I mean? So let's start out with them. Here are they. So Kiana's stressed, girl. And listen, I would be stressed too. I don't know if it was in this live I was talking to you guys about it, but there's a lot of things that can come into your life and just F everything up. Okay. If you don't have like a 401k you can pull money out of, if you don't have, something extra that's something you never think about to be able to pay for things like this, it can be very, very difficult. And all of a sudden now Kiana is slapped with this charge that she has to put money forth to get a lawyer to prove that she didn't do it. And it makes me sad that had to happen to her. Even though I know we all think she did it, but it makes me sad because the same way that Joella doesn't have the time to be paying $600 to get new tires and to get a new window and all this stuff, like Kiana don't got the time either. So if Kiana didn't do it, it absolutely sucks. Now, if Kiana did do it, then girl, this is your karma. This is your karma. Your karma is coming. As the title of this episode. So Deodric and Joella are talking in a backyard that has not seen water in months. And I think it's because they're in Texas. And perhaps Texas, Gordita, you could let us know down in the comments like what it is can be really hot. And maybe folks don't have the money or don't want to run their water bill up. Let me tell you right now that the one thing my parents never let happen, even though there were times where we were poor. I mean, we've always been poor, but like, it was poorer times than others. That grass was always green. We lived in a suburb of Los Angeles that required your house to look a certain way. Okay, they would come around and be like, your roof needs to be redone. Oh, that car has been sitting in front of your home for too long. And your grass, too long and too brown. Fix it. And I always feel like it was kind of a little bit of a war between the homeowners on the block I grew up on. And so like I have a hard time when I see houses that don't have green grass. I mean, you can have a patch here and a patch there because that's what the California sun will do to you. But oh baby, that grass that them boys are playing in, I felt like not only were the kids going to be itchy, but they was going to be scratched up because that grass looked like it ain't seen near piece of water in months. Like, was it evergreen? Is it even grass? They need to go on ahead and get them some St. Augustine, put a little bit of some spit on it, something. So them two are in the backyard and she shows him video of him leaving the house. So she feels like maybe Kiana knew that he left the house at all whatever time and that he was over at the house, and so then she decided to come back in the wee hours and bust her car up, or maybe even he did it and he's like, now why I would do it, and she's like, I don't know, but I'm sick of playing games with y'all. And so she's like, and until I find out what's going on, I'm not dropping any charges. Then Kiana gets home after she has seen the lawyer and she's like, I'm tired of that bee. She want to bee me so bad. And I just hate that these two women are fighting over this ain't shit ass. This ain't shit ass. I am just so frustrated in that, even like, because to me, as much as I want Joella just to about face and live her life, and that's what she says she's going to do. She's like, listen, I didn't have this drama when you wasn't here. I didn't have none of this when you wasn't here. This all started when you got here. So obviously it's her, because I don't got no beef with anybody else. And you can go ahead and go then. I don't need you. I don't need you to come around. And I just feel bad because the truth is that she got 3 of that man's kids. And the way this whole thing is set up, and you know, it could be just me, is that we're supposed to be on Kiana's side. But the truth is that we should be on Joella's side. And we should absolutely want to grind Deodric into the ground. Maybe I'm late to the party. It's been 7 weeks. I'm late to the party. I know I am. But I'm like, Joella got 3 of your kids and she doesn't feel supported by you at all. In fact, she feels like Kiana can't even call her Joella. She just calls her Deodric baby mama. Like that's Joella's fault. This is all Deodric's fault. This is all Deodric's fault. All of this. So anyways, he's like, man, like I gave you the money back and blah blah blah, and it's just such an insidious and silly argument to be having, the word where Kiana's like, she want to be me so bad. Girl, it's not that she wants to be you, she just wants Deodric to hold up his end of the deal. Okay, she wants Deodric to do what it is that he's supposed to do, because he left her with 3 kids and he's now out of prison living with you, taking care of your kids full time. That's not fair to her. And now she just has to eat it and deal with it, and someone's going to vandalize her car. So girl, now let me tell you, last episode I forgot to mention it, but Deodric's father's girlfriend or wife, she gonna call Joella's car the Flintstone car. And I said, if y'all not helping Joella with these childrens, if y'all not Deodric laid down and had 3 kids with Joella, and you gonna talk shit about her Lincoln Navigator or whatever, her grandpa car? Like, I can talk about it, but not you. If you need to help her get a new car, then if that's the case, you them kids peoples, help her get a new car. Don't call it the Flintstone car. That's rude. It's funny, but it's rude. Okay. So anyways, we see Joella car, and it's even worse than I thought. Joella car, like one panel side of the back is just different color than the rest of the car. I'm like, this car is holding on with prayer and duct tape. Okay. Bubblegum, prayer, and duct tape. So I'm so rude. Joella gets pulled over and she's like worried. And I'm like, why should she get pulled over? But it's because she's in a Lincoln Navigator. The oldest, they see this young woman in this car. Do all her kids got their seatbelts on? I do not know. But that's why that car got pulled over. See, I'm telling you right now, certain cars get pulled over more than others. And she got one of them. So it turns out that she had some kind of, not a warrant out for her arrest, but she had something because her license was suspended and she was maybe driving on a suspended license. So maybe she's supposed to do time, but she not supposed to do. I don't know about prison. I don't know about like misdemeanors. I don't know about class A, class B, or class C, malicious, mild, intent, suspicious, or suspended badges. That I don't reside on that side of the world. Okay. I don't reside. I could be there any moment. I'm not judging it, but I'm just saying I don't live there. So I don't know. And so she now is worried that she's about to be snatched up and put to prison with her kids just like in the back seat because of whatever she got going on, whatever mischief she's been involved in the past. And so they end up giving her license back and letting her go about her way. Now, Kiana's people done sent an investigator over to talk to Joella. And so He's like, can I come in? And she's like, no, we can sit out here. And I said, the fact that you even have 2 seats outside to sit in front of your yard is a Southern thing, because I would not have. If I'm going to have 2 seats sitting where any outside of my domicile, is going to be in the back. It's not going to be in the front. It's not going to be in front. But she had those seats out there, and they sat amongst her weeds too. I mean, it must be a dry ass summer. It must be a dry ass summer. And so they sit down, they have a conversation where Joella ends up realizing that this investigator is not there for her, and that the investigator wants her to rescind the charges, and starts to ask her, has she been in any trouble? And she's like, listen, I'm not here for anybody trying to make it out that that Kiana deserves the world, that Queen Kiana deserves everything, and I don't deserve anything. And then I said, oh, that's what's going on. I said, oh, that's what's going on, is that there is like not a class situation, but there is, and I don't mean an actual class, but there is a class situation going on. I think that somewhere along the line, someone has decided that Joella was ghetto. Joella don't deserve anything. And even his peoples are on Kiana's side. And so she's just sick of everybody being on Kiana's side and not understanding that she just didn't have these kids on her own, that she's not making this all up, that Deodric is in her ear whispering sweet nothings, and then going back and putting Kiana as the forefront as his real girlfriend, the one that he relies on, the one that he lives with, the one that he, buys things for. And she's just left holding the bag. And I that's when I really felt bad for her. I felt bad for her. Because I was like, that sucks to have a man's 3 kids and he won't ever bring you to the light of day. And his whole peoples isn't even on your side. They're on her side. Why when he's the arbiter of this drama? So she ends up telling the investigator that she would be willing to sign the document if she could meet face to face with Kiana, and that she gets her cosmetics paid for, because she don't got time to be replenishing things. And I said, you know what? If I were Kiana, I would just do that. I would sit down and talk with her and I'd give her money. Like, Kiana can't ask nothing from Deodric when he got 3 kids with somebody else. And that's just the 3 kids he got with Joella. Who knows what? I think he got other kids. No, Gato? Yeah. I think he got other kids with other people. I think she must have got other people. I mean, Joy, you know that these men be lying to us and we don't be knowing better? Okay. Anyways, that's the end of them, you guys. If you got the hee ha ha's it all through this and you wanted to give your girl a thumbs up or give your girl a tip, please go ahead and take the time now to do this while I prepare for the other crew. All right. So the next couple, or the other next couple, is, let's just go to JK and Brooke, because I don't understand the level of hands-offness that some people roam this earth with. I wish that I still believed in a higher power where I could just lay down my worries and just like move through life, just don't care. Just no stress, because you don't worry about anything because it's out of your control. Okay. So JK going to see Alex because he done heard from his pappy that Alex is pregnant. He want to know who the baby father is. He want to know if that's his baby. Okay. So he's like, I cheated on Brooke because I was unhappy. And me and Alex have always had a different kind of connection. And so what it sounds like and feels like to me is that he really is down bad for Alex and he loves her. But because she stepped out on him when he was away on some bullshit, that he can't ever forgive her. He can't ever forgive her. And so then he started fucking around with, messing around with Brooke, because he was like, oh, okay, yeah, she's never cheated on me and she's been there for me, well, whoop-de-whoop, blah, blah, blah. However, Alex has been there for you. Alex has been taking care of your daddy. And just because she handled her business because you went away from the choices that you made, it's all done. And is this all Bonnie's fault? Where Bonnie at? Somebody need to bring Bonnie to the front because she got a lot of explaining to do. She got a lot of explaining to do. Okay? So it just feels Wahima, Lino. Hi. I'm Marsha. So it just feels like it just feels very funny and suspicious that this is how this man is operating, because he can't let go of the fact that Alex is human. Because he's human and he gets to roam this earth doing whatever he want to do. But don't let Alex make a mistake. Then he just gonna leave her high and dry and then do whatever he got to do with Brooke and be running back and forth. And so Alex finally chose peace, and I hope she stays with it. He gonna say that, he gonna walk up to her and be like, "What's up, mama?" And he's like, "So you know why I'm here?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you told my dad that you were pregnant, and I need to know, is that my baby?" And she's like, "This, whether or not it's your baby, has nothing to do with you. You put me through too much. You got me fighting in alleyways with crazy ass cats, and I'm not gonna do it. Fighting in an alley with an alley cat, and I'm not gonna do it. Okay? When I told you that I was pregnant and had a miscarriage, you weren't anywhere around. So like at this point, I get it. You're not trying to fuck with me. Not for real. You love me, but you can't get over this, whatever happened, and you're not trying to really be there for me. So don't come back to my house anymore. You gotta go." And he's like, "Well, I just want to know, and I don't got no control, and whoop de whoop." And meanwhile, he's ignoring calls from Brooke, and Brooke is so mad that she says she's gonna choke the piss out of him, which is such a disgusting thing to say. Well, and I really feel like him and Alex were having a real ass moment. You know what I mean? Where it needed to be said. And I'm like, damn, just to be in love with somebody who's on drugs. I'm telling you right now, I can't be in love with somebody who's on drugs. You on drugs, you on your own. I'm too grown for that. This is the young girls. That's the young girls gambit. I can't do it. Especially in a community where you've seen people down bad on drugs, doing whatever, meth. Hell no. What? I don't even understand what's happening. But this is where they are. This is a story being fed. I'm reporting live here from the streets of downtown Minneapolis. So, girl, I really felt it for her in that moment, that she stood down and she was like, "Listen, you trying to act like I'm the side chick, but I'm not the side chick. I'm the main chick. Until you treat me like I'm the main chick, you ain't gonna hang it on out here." And he's like, "Well," he's doing the math. He's like 10, 4, 5, 11, October, November. Okay, so is that baby mine? And she's like, "It's a 50-50 chance. I was also having sex with somebody else." And I thought to myself, how are these people not riddled with germs? Just riddled. I am so terrified of germies. And I know it's a thing that happens because if you're out here, bumping nasties, you can get the germies. But I'm just like, these girls don't care. No, they just be letting anybody. And I'm just like, drug addicts? No. So she is trying to get him to understand. He's like, "Well, I'm here." And then at the end, he tried to act like he's here and she's the one pushing him away. And he's like, "Well, can we get a paternity test?" And she was like, "It's not safe for the baby right now. We have to do it afterwards." And he's like, "Okay." Then he gonna say something stupid like, "If God don't want me to have a child, he won't bless me with one." God, baby, biological, two separate things. Like, why is it that people think that God is sitting around being like, "You get a baby, you get a baby, you get a baby, you get a baby"? No, what happens is, even if you do believe in God, why is God dumb? Have you ever wondered that? Why is God dumb? Why is God jealous? Why have humans put human emotions onto a deity? It's like, it is so dumb for humans in this modern era to believe that an omnipotent creative being would have any level of human emotion. And it's, I get it. It's in the Bible, but at some point we got to be like, okay, well, an omnipotent being would not have those emotions. That kind of rhetoric is obviously from a less educated, like more controlling group of people who were from the like 1050s or whatever. And like they use this rhetoric to control the people. And so they had to put like human emotions on a deity. But obviously, like a deity would be smart. A deity would be smart and not be jealous. I would sit in church and people would be like, "God is a jealous God." I'm like, that's dumb. Why does God get to be jealous and I'm not supposed to be? What? What? That's so stupid. Also, why can't God be the type of deity that creates? And when you create the beings to then create. And so it's all biological. It's just biological. God created the biology then, right? No? The biological thing of the body doing the thing with the thing. So then why is it God just sitting around being like, you know what? I think JK need a baby. If God were to give JK a baby, then God is an idiot because JK is an idiot and JK don't need to have no life on this planet. Like, this don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, y'all. It don't make no sense. You're not late, Petty. I'm only two people in. An all-knowing person would have to create some stupid. You're right. But what I'm saying is the fact that you think that God has something to do with the fact that your dumbass has or doesn't have kids is wild. Like, God is just behind the sperm being like, you got it, you got it, you got it. Yeah, like, shut up. I'm done. I just can't. I cannot with the stupid God. I can't with the stupid God. I just can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. If God don't want me to have a child, and he won't bless me with one. Shut up. Then he's like, well, the reason why I ain't help her with a miscarriage because there ain't no proof she had a miscarriage. You know, people would be like to put babies on folks, and then people, what? He feels that things are complicated and out of his control. Jesus Louises. Okay, guys, let's move on. Troy and Zeruia. Wait, I'm saying her name wrong. Zeria. Thank you, Zeria. Troy and Zeria. Where are their pictures at? I want you guys to, I don't know. I lost it. Here. There it is. Oh, so the executive director, Zeria, is at home with her homegirl, Sahara. Her and Sahara hop in the car with their fits on. Girl, Sahara's looking like a 90s bae. Okay. She got the fur, the like jacket with the fur on the sleeve. Looking like what's her face from from Save the Last Dance. You know that scene where Kerry Washington's character comes into the playground? You know, Kerry Washington characters is real New York City. She real New York City. It's such a terrible bad accent, even though she's from New York City, I think. But anyways, you know, she come to the playground, she got on that like little hat, or maybe am I thinking of Nia Long? I'm thinking two different characters. When you got the little knitted hat on, and then you got the long trench jacket with the fur around the cuffs, and you got the fur around here too. That's what that girl got in that car. And I said, okay, I see it, because Zeria is trying to bring back the 90s too, and I'm not mad at it because maybe she watched the baddies when she was younger, dressed like that, and so now that it's her time, she gets to do it too. And I feel that sentiment. I'm just calling it out. So she's like, Troy wants me to run to Buffalo to be there with his family, but he left me and I'm his family, and I wish that I could be there to be with Troy. And I said, Miss Executive Director, what were you doing that you couldn't go to Buffalo to be with your husband as he memorializes, that's how the word he used, I feel like that's the wrong word, his father? More importantly, as he gets his father's ashes all in his hair. Did we not see that? I took a picture of it, but I forgot to upload it. Let me see if I can find it. I'm about to go blurry for a second, because when you download stuff. Oh, I also tried to take a picture of Michael's dad here. Am I still blurry? Okay. Well, anyways, Yana gets him an opportunity to be with Troy. So he picks up baby Troy and he brings her to the waterfront, and he's just like, yeah, you know, I'm here to do this for my dad. And I'm like, it's crazy that you're talking to this 8-year-old about the death of her grandfather when she don't even know you. How is she supposed to like even envision your father? And you're explaining this to her like she's an adult. Troy does not understand that his daughter is a child who does not even know him. And so to kind of put these heavy things on her, and I mean, I can see why Yana was like, why she got to be there? What she do? She ain't part of this. Yeah, because it's like Troy, baby Troy is only 8. She was just 7 when you got out. She don't know you. She don't know him. She doesn't understand anything. So the whole time baby Troy is just looking at the camera because she looking like what's happening? Where's my mama? I know some of these people. And it was just weird. It was a weird thing that it felt like he was leaning on her and like explaining things to her. And I was like, she's not 12. She barely 8. Like, anyways, so the family gets there. His uncle gets there with his father's ashes, and Troy breaks down. I mean, the one thing I will say about Troy is that I love the fact that he shows his he cries. I love the fact that he'll cry on camera, and I think it's really important for Black men to cry because for so long, they're told not to. So when Zeria gets there, she takes Troy aside because she got something to tell him. And he's like, "What's up? You pregnant?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, great." And okay, cool. And so he then starts to cry because he's like, it's such a great time. Like, but the whole time I'm like, that man got ashes all in his hair. Look at all that ashes. There's so much ashes everywhere. Well, it's because, here's the truth. When you throw ashes into water, you have to make sure that the wind isn't blowing because when the wind is blowing, it'll just blow the ashes in that way. So if you do want to throw ashes into like a body of water, you got to go to the body of water and get real close to it and throw it, or make sure there's no wind at all. Beautiful, beautiful sentiment. Oh yeah, any man, but Black man. And yeah, it was all in his hair. It was all in his hair. Okay, now we move on to Justine and Michael, and we got another situation where everything is fine, everything is fine, everything is fine. Michael gets mad and walks away. It's like, how many times has he walked away this season? Everything is fine, everything is fine. Michael gets mad and walks away. I gotta wash that man right out of my hair. Come on, South Pacific. Anyways, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Yes, I'm drinking wine out of a martini glass because what had happened is the wine wasn't cool, but the martini glass was. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, Justine and Michael. God, it's so boring. So they go to this opulent spot in New York City. And we find out that his father is Guyanese, like Indian Guyanese, and his family is Indian. So I'm like, oh, it's Indian that I'm seeing. That's where all the melanin comes from. But your mother's Afro-Latina. So we're going to go ahead and accept the fact that he's Black. But them kids are very, very multicultural, which I love for them. They're white, they're Black, they're Indian, they're Dominican. They got a lot of culture to pull from. So I love that for them. So it's wait a minute, Joseph. Michael isn't walking away. He's just trying to get his steps in for the day. That's all. Shut up. Okay, so they get to New York and she's invited her mom, and so her mom actually shows up and mom's come to help. We find out that in 2008 Sherry got married and spent $100,000 on that wedding, and I want to know where her husband's at. Where is that husband? Not to say I don't know if she's single or not, but we haven't seen him, and I don't think that she's made mention of him, and I need to know where he's at. Because if you spent $100,000 and you paid it all yourself, she said my mom paid for that wedding. And then we see a picture of both of them being the skinniest, miniest they could possibly be in 2008. And a ice sculpture in a Catholic, what it seemed like a Catholic cathedral, and just like the magic, the dress looked 90s to me, but a lot of things look 90s to me. Like anything like statement jewelry and older, I just am like 90s, 90s, gaucho, 90s. It's all 90s to me. But she's wearing this like slick dress. It doesn't look like it's a mermaid, but it has a long like train that, they had to set up on the steps. $100,000 in 2008 and she paid for it. I'm like, is she still paying it off? How old is that woman? And who helped her? And did she dip into her 401k? How do you just spend $100,000 on one event? One event. Is that not including the honeymoon and the purchase of the down payment on your home? Like $100,000 is ridiculous to me. You know what it is? You know why? Let me tell you why. It's because I don't come from a culture that like reveres weddings. And I think that that's what it is. Like, I don't come from that. I don't have that. Like, my parents' wedding was in their friend's backyard and it was probably very, my parents, they have pictures from it, and they're both my mom's wearing a dress and all her bridesmaids, it's a whole thing, but they didn't go to a venue. I think like people in the family cooked, you know what I mean? It was more of an intimate type situation. For my parents, one day I'll get the pictures and show it to you. It's much more of an intimate type situation for my parents. And so like, it's weird to me when like people spend so much money on weddings. And I'm just like, and it didn't, because they don't last. A lot of them don't last. And it's like, why spend so much money on it? I mean, like, yeah, if you're like a mobster and your daughter's getting married, absolutely. If you're like super dumb rich and you can spend that much money on a wedding, just okay. A lot of people get paid when there's weddings, right? Like, there's a photographer. I love the fact that it's a whole industry where people are able to have a livelihood from it. However, $100,000 is a lot of money, especially if you're not married. If you don't stay married forever, it's a lot of money. Okay. This onion is starting to get on my nerves. Remove yourself, onions. And so she's got her mom there helping her, and Justine's thinking that she's about to spend $60,000, and then we find out that the venue that they're looking at is $40,000 bare minimum. That's what the dad says, and he's like, "Man, how are we gonna pay for this?" And they're all just really trying to struggle and figure out how they're gonna pay for it. And I'm like, now here's the truth: Indian weddings, they do it because them folks, they married, because both sides of the family go together, but them folks, they married. And it's a thing, but like, it's not necessarily always a thing here in the US. And I'm just like, y'all need to give that up. She's talking about she want elephants and her mom had doves. This is just so frivolous and such an absolute waste of money. Those doves aren't getting paid. Get out of here with that. And then she's like, should I have a buffet? And the mom's like, no. And she's like, yeah, it's tacky. And I'm like, I've seen both. I've seen people do where they've done both in one setting, where you sit down, you have the catered meal and people bring you the thing, but then afterwards you got the dessert buffet. You can get like whatever culture food you want to get. I love a lot of food. Oh, so great. Anyways, and so he sees his cousins for the first time. He hadn't seen them in forever. And his dad is there. And I tried to get a picture of his dad, but it was not a very good picture of him, because I was like, who does Michael look like? And also, he's taller than his dad. And also, like, tell me more about this Guyanese man. Tell me more about him and what he's been doing and where he's been at. I want to know more. How many more kids they got? How much more kids they got together? Because that doesn't look like the man that we saw in first season when Mike first got out of prison. Maybe it was. He lost a lot of weight then. Okay, and because the sister is dark, is melanated as well. She's darker than the mom. So I'm like, who's I need lineage. Tell me what's going on. Okay. And so then they go out to eat dinner afterwards, and he's feeling overwhelmed because he, of course, has a secret. And she's like, well, I'll pay for my part of the family. And I'm like, you have your own money independent of Michael? What do you mean you'll pay for your family and your part? And he's like, you'll pay for your part. What are you talking about? And I was wondering the same thing too. I was like, y'all have a joint account. Y'all are both paying for it. What are you talking about? He gets up and leaves. He's like, pay for this dinner, and leaves. And then dad's like, oh, he's just stressed or whatever. I'm like, this ridiculous drama for no reason. They love to be dramatic for no reason. Okay, next couple that we are going to talk about is Laticia and Keith. So with them, she done set up a whole home gym for him. Okay, so he got everything he could ever want in the home gym so that he can keep his body svelte. Okay, he's been 11 years in prison. He's been doing nothing but working on all day. He can't stop now. Can't stop, won't stop. He and Laticia are going out he's going to be dropped off with his dad, and Letitia's going to go and do her thing. When she gets dropped off with his dad, we find out that his dad has a community center. And the community center is just really there to give back to the community, help the young youth. And he says that he wasn't there for Keith a lot of time because he was in prison. And so this is his like give back to the community and his family, and really trying to just like bolster the family. So Dumari? No. That's the way it's spelled. How do you say it? Damari. So Damari is living with Keith and Laticia. They don't have full custody. They just have supervisory, but because the father is the one that's taking care of Damari, like, you know, he's not going to be like, no, you can't go see your father because the courts say, like, no, he's going to stay with Damari. And he's going to stay with Keith. And so the kids have been getting along really well, except for the oldest daughter still, like, she don't want to be there. But the youngest daughter and Damari have been getting along really well. And so it feels like a nice, happy family. And so I'm happy for them in that respect. As long as things are going well and everybody's safe, then I'm happy for them in that respect. But Laticia is under a lot of pressure. She's under a lot of pressure because she's got cases pending for fraud and not doing things that she was supposed to do allegedly with her business. And so she's trying to call her lawyer, but her lawyer isn't answering. And so she's very nervous about this meeting with her lawyer. Now this woman gets on here. This is where she loses me every time. It's because she's like, oh, I work from home now. It's so much better than being in the corporate environment. And you know, it's different now having a big team, but I don't have a big team anymore. And I'm like, girl, what corporate environment were you working in? Because what we saw was you in some like little dingy space that said girl boss or boss lady or something, and you had 2 employees. What corporate space? Your business is not corporate. What are you talking about? What? Is that for the people who didn't see you 3 seasons ago? Because girl, it was never a corporate office. It was a regular ass tax office with 2 employees. You didn't have boardrooms. You didn't have board meetings. Okay. There was no corporate environment. You were not in a corporate space. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it this moment. And so then we cut to Keith and his dad. And his dad is like, okay, well, what's going to happen to the kids once Laticia goes, if she goes to prison? And he's like, well, we haven't really talked about it because she doesn't want to lay all that on my shoulders. And so she's really nervous about it though. And I'm like, what do you mean what's going to happen? Keith is going to take care of them kids because Keith is her lawfully wedded husband. So if Tisha goes to prison, Keith is going to be taking care of all 3 of them children. That is what's going to happen. I don't know what do we think? So Keith better go ahead and get himself a job. He better learn how to crunch some numbers so he can take over the business while she's in prison. Because now what's he supposed to do anyway? Wasn't he supposed to be the like manager or something? He was going to come straight out of prison and be some manager of her fiduciary business. He didn't come out of prison and just get all the right. Don't you have to have accreditations or something to do something with taxes and somebody? I don't know. I do not know. But the dad is like, well, they're going to need to sit down and come up with a plan. And I said, oh, they're going to need to sit down and come up with a plan. That man, they are in Iowa. Why does he sound like that? Well, you need to sit down and come up with a plan. You need to sit down and come up with a plan? Well, y'all need to sit down and come up with a plan. And I said, you know, Black people will be Black people everywhere they go. Okay? Accents will be accents. Because Keith, like, yeah, you know, Tisha really upset and she don't know. I'm like, what is happening? You guys are in Iowa. What? What? I don't know much about Iowa, but it's south of Minnesota. And if y'all don't sit down and make a plan, it's hilarious to me. Hilarious to me. All right, you guys, that is the end of them. We have our last couple, and this was just such a waste of my time. What are you guys saying? That's the only buffet I like. What kind of buffet? Buffets are bad. They're not bad. It's just like it's more classic in order to sit down and be served, I guess. Um, yeah. Someone in the comments of the YouTube video I was watching said Keith got his mumble mouth with his dad. We better sit down and get on a plan. So will. They're in Iowa. I will remind you guys. I need to know more about the Black folks of Iowa. I know I would go if I were to even drive there. It's 3 hours away from where I live because I have been planning on going. I feel like I'm not going to run into narrow Black person. I feel like I'm not going to run into them. Okay. Bianca and David. Oh my God, who cares about them, truthfully? So the girl just moves back after finding out that he's cheated on her. And she gets back home, and then her friend who told her so is like, I don't want to say I told you so, but I did tell you so. Before she leaves, she ends up threatening him with saying that she's going to, first of all, they don't know who's going to take over the apartment. He wants her to leave. She wants him to leave. He's like, I can't leave. I can't. He doesn't say that to her. He just makes it like seem like, oh, well, you got to make a choice. You got to leave. She's like, well, I don't know what I want to do. I can stay here and thrive. I think at this point she's still trying to be with him. But then he's doing his confessional, or he's doing his interview with the team, and he's telling the team like how in the beginning he did think things were going to go well with her, but then when he got out and saw how immature and stupid she was, he just couldn't stand it. And instead of saying something earlier on, he didn't, and he just let it fester. But he's still blaming her for it. And I'm like, no, that's on you. The moment you saw the cut of her jib, you should have bounced, but you didn't have any other options except for maybe your parents. Your parents can't help you. So in this mist, when they're sitting down, he's just ordered a tomahawk, a big ass steak. She says, well, if what's going to happen is if we stay together, then I'm just going to buy a bunch of alcohol. And when your PO comes over and sells the alcohol in the house, you're going to get in trouble. And she's like, legally, you shouldn't be drinking. And he's just like so fed up with her, but then also being stupid and rude and like unforgivably like ignorant. It's just, it's annoying the way he's being. And so he ends up leaving the table, leaving her there. Then finally she gets up and leaves, and then he goes back and eats his food. And so while he's gone doing his interview, she goes through his room and finds that he's been talking to other women the entire time. And so now she's pissed, and she's like, you're a piece of shit. And he's like, I don't care. You're a piece of shit too. And at this point, we all know they should just move on. So she then leaves and decides to go back to Florida where she fucking belongs. And then she's like talking to her best friend, and her friend's like, I didn't want to tell you I told you so, but honestly, I told you so. So I'm gonna say I didn't. I'm not gonna say I told you so. I'm gonna say I did. I told you so. So the friend is like, so she's like, yeah, yeah, he did this, this, and this. And the friend's like, you can keep telling me all the things that he did, but I already told you so. So like, why are we hashing this over? Do you have him blocked? And she's like, yeah, I have him blocked. I'll never talk to him again. Meanwhile, in between time, he gets obviously is now back in his cycle of addiction with alcohol, and his PO puts him back in prison, and so now he's in a 90-day program back in prison. And I'm just like, karma. Because if you had just left that girl, instead of her running you ragged, if you had just let her go and gone about your life and sucked it up and gone live with your parents or done a halfway house, maybe you could have been better off. It's also karma for talking to her the way you did when you didn't need to. You just want her to feel like so much blame. And this shows how naive and young they are and how immature they are for sure with that behavior. So that's really all it is. Oh, well. Exactly. Yep. Daniel was absolutely appalling. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. If you can give me a thumbs up, that would be awesome. Give me a thumbs up. Marsha, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the hee hee ha ha's. Thank you so much, Marsha. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, here, let me give this to you. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. All right. Bianca's ancestors were working overtime because it didn't take long for Daniel to get back to the big house. Oh yeah, they were. But that's on him, being silly. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for those of you who gave this video a thumbs up, gave me a tip. Thank you so much, Marsha. And I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Just remember that I'm going to go live tomorrow at 6 p.m. CST, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as 7:30 CST, which is 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 Pacific. Yeah, because I'm going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé the other way, as well as Seeking Sister Wife. It's back. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. You guys have a fantastic evening. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump